Alright, so for A, I'm going to bring A down right here and work it out separately. The absolute value of 3/4 A minus 3 equals 9. So you don't have anything on the outside, so you start by breaking it down into a plus and a minus. Does everybody agree so far? And we have 3/4 A minus 3 equals 9, and 3/4 A minus 3 equals negative 9. Are we good so far? And then you add 3, and you get 3/4 A equals 12, and 3/4 A equals negative 6. Now, how many of us multiplied by the reciprocal? Look at you go, girl. You are on it. So, you can get rid of the fraction by multiplying by 4, then dividing by 3, or you can just multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4/3. Kill it. Kill it. Alright, how many times does 3 go into 12? 4 times 4 is? Okay. How many times does 3 go into negative 6? And negative 2 times 4 is? Look at how easy that was. So our solution set is negative 8, 16. Dun, 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 dun. Did anybody get that right? Hey, good job, Tater Tots. If 2 people at your table got it right, give your team a point. Alright, now let's graph it. So we're going to put negative 8 here. I'm going to put 0. I'm going to put 16 down here. And I'm going to put my points over negative 8 and 16. Now, what is the middle of these two numbers? 4? Yeah. Awesome. 4 is the middle. And how many units is it from 4 to 16? And 4 to negative 8? Did anybody get the graph right? Take a point for your team. Good job. So yesterday we talked about how if you have a number out front, you divide these numbers to get your middle and your distance. So negative 3 divided by 3/4 gives you negative 4. We take the opposite, you get 4. 9 divided by 3/4 gives you 12. Dun, 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 dun. All right, what'd you get for B? Donnie? No solution. Why is it no solution? Because absolute value can never equal a negative number. So that one was easy, right? Did anybody work that out? Okay, good. You did? No excuses, Tater Tot. I'm just kidding. All right, and number C. What did y'all do first on number C? Divided by 2. You got rid of the 2 and divided it. I'm going to work it out on the back. Hey, Ravenclaw, are y'all going to answer today so you can get some points, or y'all just chilling over there? Wow. Do you want to start writing it on the dry erase board so you don't have to say words and hold the dry erase board up? Are you nervous about all this attention on you? Okay.
I just look at Ravenclaw and I see a bunch of group of cute sisters. I'm sorry, but I just see a bunch of sisters.
Sean, I'm seeing to the wrong reader.
I don't want to
Sean?
Don't judge.
No judgment, baby. All God's children, but that... Okay.
Why?
Oh, I should not have done this first. I should have divided by 2 first, like you guys told me to do. And then I get the absolute value of 5f minus 3 equals what? 12. Fantastic. And then I break it down, correct? And so then I get 5f minus 3 equals 12. Oh, this graph is going to be gross. Why did I make this problem?
Why is that reaction? I'm guessing I didn't get it wrong.
Did y'all get those two? Don't graph that. That's going to be gross. Don't. If you got it right, raise your hand. Give your team a point. If 2 people got it right, give your team 2 points. Okay, are we ready to say goodbye to absolute value until our test?
Yes.
Or until like a quiz or something. Alright, goodbye absolute value. In our Unit 2 table of contents, I want us to add page 10. Today we are doing ratios and proportions. It's so easy, Tater Tot. It is so easy. Get excited. Show you. I'm going to zoom out. So you are going to hold it like this so that the short end is on the paper, and you are going to put it near the very top, about ½ an inch in. So you only want it a little bit in. Does everybody see what I just did there? So put it at the very top, only a little bit in, on this notebook table of contents. Notebook table of contents. Put it at the very top, short side in. Let's go, let's go, let's go, guys. Okay? Does everybody have it down on the paper? Because we're about to do some magic. Bless you. Oh my gosh. You just put it on the paper, ½ an inch in, short side down. Yeah. Okay, are we ready? Then you're going to turn your paper over and you're going to fold it. But you don't want to fold it all the way in, guys. You want part of it sticking out from the edge, okay? You see how it makes a tab? You want part of it. Yay! Some people have a light bulb. Does everybody see how it made a tab now? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay? And then we're going to write notebook table of contents on the edge. Can't see that. I'll zoom in. Do you see it now? Notebook table of contents. And then you're going to take some tape that's in your second drawer of your tower now, and you're going to tape the bottom edge of the front and the back so that it stays there. And look, now we have a tab. We know where that is. Isn't it lovely? Don't you feel like you've accomplished something in life? So tape the bottom of the front and the back so that it stays in your notebook. You could also tape the edge if you wanted to reinforce it, but you don't have to. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Extremely terrifying image.
Are we ready for the next tab, or do we need a moment? Are we ready? Have we folded it over to the front and the back and taped it down? Does any table need tape? We all have tape? Are we sure? Okay. Ravenclaw, y'all got tape over there? Why don't you look in the tower? What is happening? Second drawer. Second drawer. Thank you, Hufflepuff, for your assistance. All right. Are we ready for the next tab? So the next one is going to go on your Unit 1 table of contents that looks like this. So you can do this two ways. You could put your notebook table of contents on top of it so that you know how far down you want it to go. Or you can just move down let me move this down. So I put my notebook table of contents over my Unit 1 so that I can see how far down I want to move my tab. I want to move it down to the third line. So then come on, Sticky. Alright, take the short side again. Put it about ½ an inch in. Then fold it over. Make sure that you fold it over. Make sure that you fold it over so that it makes a tab. Look at that. And then tape it down on the front and the back. Dun, 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 dun. And what are we going to write on this one? Unit 1. Write Unit 1 on there. I know you can't see the words on the hot pink, but it says Unit 1. Okay, now I'm going to use my powers of deductive reasoning, and I'm going to count how many lines down my tab ends at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's past 7. So on my Unit 2, I'm going to count down 7 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to start my tab right here. And then create your Unit 2 tab. Huff Puff, I need y'all to talk less, work more. You're stressing my soul. Though I do appreciate your cross-tower teamwork. And what are we going to title this tab? Unit 2. Oh, I love it so much. And then you can put it back in your notebook and enjoy how beautiful it looks. Is that better? Okay. So what is a ratio? Is it page 10? Maybe. Thank you. Take a point. So what is a ratio? What? Comparing two numbers. Take a point. A ratio is comparing two numbers. So it is a comparison of two numbers. Let's write that at the top. A comparison of two numbers. So what does it look like when we compare two numbers? Do what? Take another point. A fraction, so you could write it as x divided by y. That's an example. What's another way? Does anybody remember another way? Colons. Take another point. And somebody besides Slytherin or Gryffindor. The last way, you just write x to y. Those are 3 ways to write ratios. Yes?
Does it matter like which way we write it?
It would mean 2 different things. So if I'm comparing x to y as opposed to comparing y to x, you'll get a different answer. Because say I'm comparing inches to feet as opposed to feet to inches, I'm going to get a different fraction out of that, right? Or different, you're going to get comparable amounts, but you're going to get a different way to look at it. So that's a great question. It just depends on what the question's asking you. So if I ask you miles to gallons, that's different than gallons to miles, right? So you get 2 different things out of it. So this first thing asks us to determine if ratios are equivalent. All you do is, let's look at 2/3 and 16/24. Those are 2 ratios, or 2 fractions, and we're going to see if they're equivalent. You could do it 2 ways. You could reduce the bigger one, or you can just cross multiply. What's 2 times 24? What's 3 times 16? What? 48. Are those 2 numbers congruent to each other? Your ratios are equivalent. That's it. Isn't it magic? No, it's not magic. It's math. Look at you go.
Even better.
Exactly. Alright, B is in potato. Let's do... Let's. I forgot to write down my problems this morning. 3/7 and 9/14. Do you think those are congruent? You think they are? Okay, so let's cross multiply and see. What's 3 times 14? 42. Take a point. What's 7 times 9? Are those 2 things congruent? No. That's all you have to do. Do we need to do another one, or can we move on? Oh, hallelujah. It's really boring. That part is. And then we get to the fun. Are you ready? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. So a proportion is when you take 2 ratios and set them equal to each other. A proportion is 2 ratios set equal to each other. And you solve them by cross multiplying. You guys have done this before, right? Okay, good. So our first one that we're going to start with, x divided by 10 equals 3 divided by 5. What part? The math or the color sheet? I'm glad. Alright, so I told you that we have to cross multiply, correct? So, what would we multiply 5 by? Okay, and what's 5 times x? What would I multiply 3 by? And what's 3 times 10? So what does x have to equal? Dun 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 dun, we're done. Isn't it lovely? Would you like to try one like that without me? B as in potato. Let's go crazy. 1 divided by 0.19 equals 12 divided by n. What word do we not say when we're talking about fractions? Over. Why? Because we're not cows. Save the cows. Alright, cross multiply. Do it without me. Yes? N. As in no-tato. How do you like your papers already being in the top drawer without me bumbling around? That's nice. I like that. And I decorated the binder clips so you know which ones are yours. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Made those myself. Thanks, baby. Take a point. What did we get? 2.28. Did we all get 2.28? Because you just multiply. Now, what if I did this to you? Are you ready? Brace yourselves. Winter is coming.
That's it's not true.
2 years! 2 years. What am I going to... All right, I'm letting it go. I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. It's no big deal. I don't know what you're muttering. All right, x minus 2 divided by 14 equals 2 divided by 7. Please don't freak out yet. Do you think we do anything different? You still cross multiply. You still do the same thing. And you distribute. Take a point. Because you have to multiply the 7 times everything that's on top. So you can write it two ways. You can write it as 7 times x minus 2 equals 28. Or you can go ahead and distribute that. I like to write it in parentheses so that I know what I'm going to do and I don't miss any steps personally. So how do I get rid of parentheses? I distribute. And what's 7 times x? And what's 7 times negative 2? And then what do I do from here? Add 14 to both sides. So 7x equals 42. And x equals what, tater tots? X equals 6. Yay! That's all you. That's it.
Did you ever end in like a fraction?
Yes. You can. Or a decimal.
If we have a decimal, would you want to change it to a fraction?
Yes. I prefer fractions over decimals. When we're doing stuff like this. When we're graphing, we'll do it in decimal form if our y-intercept, but that's a long way away. So, yeah. Okay, there's one more thing that we want to talk about with ratios, and then you're going to do your homework. Get excited. Your homework is that next page, by the way. Yeah, it's 8 problems. All right, so on the back, we're going to call this 10b. So there is something called where you use ratios in the real world, and it's called a scale and a scale model. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
Scale would be the actual size.
Mm-hmm.
And then a scale model would be a size.
It's like
It would be the actual size,
But scaled down?
yes.
Yes.
It's like a map where 1 inch equals like a certain amount of miles.
Yes, where a map where 1 inch equals circle amount of mile, certain amount of miles. Or where you have a model car and it's scaled down and they give you the ratio. I don't know if any of you ever looked at little model cars that they have in the store, but it says it's like 1/16 of the actual size or something. That's a ratio. There's math in the real world, children. Congratulations, you've learned something. So if I say that the Ramsey Cascades Trail is about 1 1/8 inches long on a map with scale of 3 inches equals 10 miles. What is the actual length of the trail? We actually did this summer when we went on our road trip, and I looked at the trail map to see how long the trail was that my husband was making me hike to my death. You use ratios and proportions. You will use this one day. Potatoes. Are we ready? Almost. So you have to set up a proportion to solve this. You start with the scale that they give you. So how many inches is 10 miles? 3 inches is 10 miles is our first scale, right? That's what they told us. And then how long is our trail on the map? 1 1/8. So we're going to put 1 1/8 inches divided by, what do we not know? The miles, divided by X miles. So now, it is very, 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 very important that your measurements match up on the top as they are on the bottom. That is very, 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 very important. As we talked about a moment ago with miles to gallons versus gallon to miles, that gives you two different answers. So if I have inches on top over here, what has to be on top over here? If miles is on bottom over here, what has to be on the bottom over here? It has to be the same. Write your dang units. Does everybody understand? Cross multiply. What is 3 times X? Okay, what is 10 times 1 1/8? What? Okay, here's a trick on how to do it. Somebody hand me their calculator, please, because I don't have one up here. Thank you. All right. Do 1 divided by 8. Okay? Plus 1, because that's 1 1/8. Now multiply that times 10, and you get 11.25. So let's write that. And that's 11 1/4, right? 0.25 is a quarter. All right, now what do I do from here? Divide by 3. So it is actually 3 3/4 miles. Dun, 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 dun. That's all you have to do. Isn't it lovely? Now, for homework tonight, you're going to do that second sheet that says decode a mystery number. You need to read the directions. Read the directions. All of the directions. Does everybody understand? All right, that's it for today. No, the bell's about to ring. You have enough time to pack up.